Hello everybody, welcome YouTubers. This is Chuck with Electric Scooter Guide, and today you're watching episode 10 of Scooter Chat Live Show. This is Safety Week. Today we're talking about why you crash, the causes, all that good stuff. This is a long time coming. We're also going to share the results from the subreddit post, which was kind of a survey of electric scooter riders. We got a ton, I think 80 something different responses. I've tallied all those things. We're going to share the results with you today. The Electric Scooter Guide mission is to simplify the electric scooter market with industry-leading unbiased reviews, guides, and giving you community so that you can chat and talk to other electric scooter owners out there, all so that you can find the perfect electric scooter for you, as well as ride safe and find the right helmets and all that good stuff. Forgot to mention, we also have a couple new tools that we'll share with you during the show today that we just finished. They're already live on the website if you want a sneak peek, and they're in the video description. So we're going to share that with you. This show is live every Tuesday at 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Every single Tuesday. You can join our community by subscribing on YouTube. So right now, click the subscribe button if you're watching. Follow us on Instagram and join our Facebook group. The Facebook group is where, if you're new to electric scooters, you can ask questions. We don't really answer a lot of questions anymore via email. Just go to the group, post your question there. We will answer you within 24 hours. Plus, you'll get the whole community to answer all your questions. So, today's episode is the safety episode. Why do we crash? How can we avoid crashes? If you're watching this right now, live chat your crash experience and how to avoid the crash, and we can all kind of help each other. I will be checking the live chat all the time. It looks like some people are already online. So welcome everybody. Looks like Starry, Blaze, and Dave. Yeah, what's up, SK Racing? What's up, Marco? I see you here all the time. That's awesome. Patrick, hello from the Facebook group. Thanks for coming in. I know you just got that eMove Cruiser. We have ours right behind the camera, actually, right now. Hey, Slave Bays. Okay, so I'll just start answering some questions, and then we'll, if we get some questions about the different types of safety stuff, then boom, we can get into that as well. So first question, SK Racing, should I get a 09 scooter if I'm planning to do it for measure? I'm planning to work this winter and save up to get this. I'm not sure what that means. For measure, I'm planning to do it for measure. I'm not sure. If you could just give a little more info on that one. Looking to get a scooter for $2,000. What's your thoughts? So what I do every single time that I'm looking for an electric scooter, and when I'm helping people, is hey, Admiral Flapjack, the first thing I do is go to the comparison chart. You can find the comparison chart in the video description. You go there and you can put in $2,000 or less. We also on our site have a best of, and there's a category for best under 2,500. Right now, at $2,000, I would say the Mantis is really, really good. That's the Mantis. I think you can probably get the Pro version. We tested out the base version. It's one of my favorite scooters that we've ever had. We've got, let's see, the 010X is also, I think, the top choice. If you use our coupon code, which is Electric Scooter Guide, go on to Rev Rides. You can get that scooter for under $2,000 for the top level version, which has the new brakes on that scooter. So I would kind of look at those first and foremost. But we do have a best of under 2,500. I think the Dualtron Spider's on there, but it's a little above that price. Hello, Mona Scary from Argentina. How you doing? Okay, sorry. So SK Racing was that first question about how should I get a 09 scooter for leisure. The 09 scooter is really one of the best scooters out there overall. Right now, you can, last time I checked on Rev Rides, it was out of stock. You can put in your email. on Falcon PEV. They will ship to the United States, and we do have a 5% coupon code. That link is in our review for that scooter, which is on our website. So just go to the Electric Scooter Guide website, go to reviews, find 09, or just type it in the search bar. You'll find it. Falcon PEV has it for 5% off, and so you can get that scooter. The reason we like that scooter, and I'm going to relate everything to probably safety today, is that it has dual pneumatic tires, dual brakes, and dual suspension. And all those three things combined make for a really good ride. You will want to add front lighting to that scooter for sure. High front lighting. And I've got some of my favorite safety gear actually behind me if anybody's interested. So for leisure versus regular, I think that whether you're commuting or not, I mean, the 09 has extreme range. If it's for leisure, it's all about how you ride and the conditions and all that stuff. And so what I recommend is if you're wondering about what scooter's right for you, go to the ultimate guide to choosing an electric scooter. I believe it's on our homepage right now. It will take you through every single stat and feature of an electric scooter, because there's no perfect scooter for everybody. What you have to do is you have to think, what is the right scooter for me in terms of how long do what's the range? What are my riding conditions? How much do I weigh? How many hills do I have? How much acceleration, the top speed? You can go through all of those things and kind of hear how we think about them, on there. So I would recommend doing that. Mantis Pro, exactly. Okay, SK Racing, he's trying to get 209 scooters, one for my sister and one for me. I'm 17 years old and planning to work soon. Yeah, cool. I mean, that is a good scooter. It is safe. It's got a lot of great features to it. It is our pick for best scooter under $1,200. If you go to the website and go to best under 1,200, boom, 09, I believe still takes the cake. There are some scooters coming up though. We're seeing a lot of new scooters come out. Let's see, Luke. Let's see. Luke says, I bought a scooter a few days ago. I can't my head to open, as I've just told it's illegal in the UK. Yeah, so UK, I think they're still illegal. Someone can comment on this. There's a lot of controversy right now. Ben Fox just did a video about trying to get legalized and no car day and all this stuff. And I hope it gets legalized there, but we need to be safe. So, when the questions calm down, if they calm down, I'll go into some safety stuff, which I've been really stoked to do. You can see some of that safety stuff in the video description right now. But I'm gonna keep going through your questions because you guys are the ones that are watching this. You guys are logging on, so I'm gonna try to help out with your questions. And everybody in live chat, thank you for being there. You can also kind of chat and comment on other people's questions if you have ideas for them. Sean says, thanks. Cool. Yeah. Tormod Torgensen. Wow. What a cool name. Hi from Norway. Hello back. eMove Cruiser arrived yesterday. Awesome. Yeah. Actually our eMove Cruiser arrived about a week ago, and it's right behind the camera there. Actually, that is the picture. That is the scooter that's actually in the video thumbnail. I just erased the eMove logo just cause it's a scooter crash picture. So I didn't want people to think eMove scooters crash more than other scooters. So yeah, great scooter where I've been kind of riding it here and there. I haven't done the full test on it yet. So far, awesome. Yeah, for range and comfort, man, the eMove Cruiser is fantastic, right? If you don't need ripping acceleration, like super fast dual motors, this might be like one of the best single motor scooters out there. It's super durable. They've got these semi-hydraulic brakes now. They got different tires on it now. It's got turn signals. It now has a keyed entry. Also, and you can find that scooter hour review plus a video review on our website. You can also get 7% off of that scooter if you go to the coupon page. It's again, just type in electric-scooter.guide and you get 7% off. That's if you're in the US. Yeah, so Stephanie Jessica is asking about first time here. What do you think about the 9bot Max? Cool. Well, welcome, Jessica. Thanks for joining in. So the Ninebot Max. So Ninebot Max is an interesting scooter. I believe originally developed for the sharing market, which is not a bad thing. It means it's going to be ultra durable, but it's not going to collapse super small. So the only real downside to that scooter, I think, and again, I have 2 videos on the Ninebot Max. If you go to our YouTube channel and just kind of scroll back, you'll see 2 videos, one of which is like 25 minutes long. So if you're really thinking about buying that scooter, you can watch that video. So I do like the Ninebot Max. Durability looks really good. People are reporting 20 to 25 miles of range, which is fantastic. It's got the tubeless pneumatic tires, which should be really, really good for longevity and not getting flats. Plus the pneumatic tires, right, as we're seeing from the surveys that are just coming out right now, are really helpful, especially as we go into the fall season, wet roads, slippery conditions, all that stuff. Having pneumatic tires is going to save you, maybe save your life. I mean, the helmet's going to save your life. But when you're on manhole covers, things like that, having those pneumatic tires is going to be really helpful. The Ninebot Max is kind of like the younger, bigger cousin to the Xiaomi M365. It's a very big departure from the Ninebot ES series. So we don't recommend the Ninebot ES series for a couple reasons, not the least of which is that they're solid tire scooters with not good suspension. So the Ninebot Max is actually more similar to the Xiaomi M365 or the Xiaomi Pro, and those are fantastic scooters. The Xiaomi M365 is our choice under $400 still. So cool. Okay. So Shinan Yilmaz, I'm going to answer a couple more and then I'm going to go into some safety stuff because we actually did a ton of work on safety. And if you're here for safety stuff, maybe just message in the chat or something that you're here for safety, because I'm going to try to get through a couple more questions just because people have spent the time to ask them. But yeah, Sinan, hi from Istanbul, Turkey. That's awesome. It's cool to have a worldwide audience here today. King Song scooter, that's cool. I haven't reviewed the King Song scooter, but I'd love to. David Demu says he has the Mantis Pro and loves it. Girlfriend is looking at something a little less torquey, but with uphill climbing. Thoughts on Skywalker 10S or Speedway 5? We don't know about the Skywalker yet. We haven't tested that. Speedway 5, we have. Speedway 5 is fantastic. It is built like a tank, super tank, but it does have dual motors. If you're willing to go that high on price, that's a fantastic scooter for sure. I mean, that might be one of the most durable scooters like ever. Jay Clark says Wolf Warrior. Yeah, absolutely. The Wolf Warrior is probably the most underrated unknown scooter. That's also like the best scooter out there. Okay. Let's see here. Website again. Yeah, so website for shown. Website is in video description. We have a bunch of links in there. I'll just say it though. It's electric-scooter.guide. Patrick is saying, Chuck, for pleasure riding, would a bike helmet, no chin guard be acceptable? I don't have a needs for speed. Okay, so Patrick, great question, and it's a great segue into one of the new tools that I really want to announce today. One of our team member, Justin, co-founder Justin, has worked tirelessly on scooter helmets. And, I'm not going to go into the whole reasons why we're focusing on safety and helmets and everything this week. Maybe I'll go into it later. But we have some new tools for helmets that we posted in the Facebook group to get some feedback on it. They are online. We haven't really done a formal announcement. This is just for you guys, for people who are watching. So helmets. I'm going to show you a little something here. This is the first time I've done this. And so what you're seeing now on the screen is our new helmet database plus a helmet guide. So if you go onto the website, there's a new link called Safety Link. There's now 3 sections of that. There's one for best foldable helmets, a guide to choosing a helmet. And this guide goes through all safety standards. It goes through the type of helmet. It goes through the style of helmet, which those are 2 totally different things. And then you can actually check out this database. And so what I want to do here is I want to kind of show you on the database here, you can actually sort by type. So once you decide what kind of type of helmet you want, and I'm going to go over with you, Patrick, the types of helmets for you based upon the protection level, then you can actually use this similar to how you've used the comparison chart for scooters. So it's going to work the same way. We've got your type of helmet, and so type and protection are basically the same thing. It's a rating of 1 to 5. We've got style here, right? And then we have full face or not. So what I will do is, I'm going to basically kind of walk you through what those helmet kind of things mean. So helmets fall into 4 categories, okay? So for helmet categories, and you can just basically go on the helmet page right now if you want to check this out. But under 20 miles an hour, under 20 miles an hour, you've got 2 options, okay? And literally I'm on the helmet database page right now looking at this, talking to you guys, because this is new to us too. We've just finished like analyzing all helmets and figuring out how to do this thing. There is no standard for electric scooters. So we are taking it upon ourselves to make not a standard, but to give the best recommendation that we can after studying everything for a couple weeks here. So helmet type and speed and protection, okay? Those all go together. So if you're under 20 miles an hour, the helmet type you're looking for is bike or downhill, okay? Bike and downhill are rated for under 20 miles an hour. So Patrick, if you are always going to ride under 20 miles an hour, you can get a bike or a downhill helmet. Now, if you're going to go over 20 miles an hour, we recommend going, and we don't recommend, this is literally the standard. This is what they say, okay? If you're going to go over 20 miles an hour, you are looking for an e-bike helmet or a motorcycle helmet, okay? And so e-bike helmet being a little bit less safe or less robust in terms of when you crash, a little bit less rated as far as like the impact level. Motorcycle helmet being like the maximum amount of protection available. So that is the first thing to look at. The next thing to look at, and if you're on the page, right, you just scroll down to where it says style, and the style of the helmet is the next thing you want to look at. And it's less, you can actually get multiple styles within each of the types. And this is where this is the only confusing thing. So in other words, if you're getting a motorcycle helmet, you can get that in multiple different styles. The motorcycle is a protection level, not a style. Okay. So just understand that thing. This is the only thing you really need to kind of like think about a little bit. So again, I'm going to go back to you, Patrick, real quick and see, I wish I could bring you on here like with a video chat. Oh, Patrick. Yeah, cool. So that is what, yeah. And so you got to think about how fast you're going. Okay. So y'all can use that tool and check it out. You can see the link to buying. You can now sort by price. We're trying to help people get helmets in the best way possible. Right. So for me, and I'm going to tell you right now, I have these 3 helmets behind me, okay? We got this one because our photographer and other people on our team, the mod on the Reddit, got in really, really bad accidents, and it just is time to get better helmets for myself. So what I did, right, is I wanted the best protection because guess what? Like when I'm testing electric scooters, I'm absolutely going over 20 miles an hour. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do this with you guys actually. So let's just go to this screen here and then I'm going to be able to move it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to highest protection, which is motorcycle protection. Okay. Boom. So now you can see it's all 4 stars, right? Because 4 stars is exactly what motorcycle is about. Then for style, okay, we actually kind of came up with these styles on our own. I know you can't quite see the top of the screen, and I don't have a way to move this up and down right now, but you've got shell style. You've got, the road style, which is the one that's got a lot of like perforations and holes in it. You've got the racer style, which is like what you typically see. Like it's like the fullest face. It's like an eggshell. And then you've got the halo style, which we basically just came up with ourselves based on the game Halo, actually. So for me, right, I want to get racer or halo style. Okay. And then finally, for full face. So let's talk about full face, okay? You can get almost any helmet in full face or not, especially the Halo style and the Racer style. What full face does is it gives you chin protection, okay? So when you're falling and you hit your head, right? The most important thing is to avoid brain damage, skull fractures, brain bleeding, which is concussions, and unfortunately death, which has happened, right? It's gonna happen. So that's the most important thing. It's just wearing the darn helmet, okay? Full face means you have chin protection and probably some like nose, so it's like your face is now protected. When you're falling on an electric scooter, so many falls are going over the handlebars straight forward, and if you don't get your hands out in time, you are hitting your face. I've seen terrible pictures of like women with their teeth going through their lips and all kinds of other stuff. It's not pretty. If you are riding over 20 miles an hour and if you're a risk taker, if you're riding faster than other people, and if you are, you can get a really good helmet with full face protection for not that expensive. So like, let me type in full face and I'm gonna go yes. And now I'm gonna sort by price. And as you can see, they start out at very inexpensively priced scooters. Okay. And you can say like, hey, I want something that's between 70 and, $150. And you can do that. And then you can go in and click on these and it'll take you right to the product page. Okay. So that is a really good way to figure this whole thing out. Okay. I'm gonna go back to comments. I know I've been talking about this for a bit and I'm trying not to talk too long about any one thing. But I hope that is, nope. Yeah, get back to me. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back through the questions here. Patrick, always protect your teeth. Yep. Yeah. And Patrick is now saying he's got it set at 1, so 15 miles an hour is good for him, which means you can look at helmets that are bike style and the next one up, which is, I believe was the downhill standard. Okay. And they all have to do with the applicable standards. So if you just look at that chart, you'll get a sense of it. This is, this whole helmet thing is really confusing. If you look at that page and you just look at it for 5 minutes, you will get it. Okay. Raphael Linux. Hey, Raphael Linux. Yeah, I've seen you somewhere else, maybe on YouTube or on our Instagram. What is the new, is there a new definitive solution for turn indicator? Yeah, so this is something that I want to start working on soon. What we may do, right? The helmet page right now is kind of an MVP, right? It means like it's a minimum viable product. It works. We do want to add some features. And one of the features that I want to add is going to be turn signal indicators, which on the helmet may be the best place, backpack or helmet. I haven't done testing on that yet. I want to get some and try them out. I know like the eMove Cruiser actually has turn signals, but they're on the platform. They do make a beeping noise. But that's one of the few scooters that has it on the platform. You can purchase turn signals that go on the end of your handlebars. Excuse me. We don't have any of that cataloged yet. So if anybody has any that they really like, just go ahead and paste in the comments or the live chat. SK Racing says, will you get lots of looks if you use a big scooter like the 010X? Yeah. I mean, for me, I was riding around downtown Berkeley, popped into the juice store. I definitely got some fun comments, all good comments. I like riding that scooter. It was one of the first scooters that we ever reviewed. It was a lot of fun. It's big, but it looks awesome. I've only gotten good comments on that. So yeah. I love that. So JSYT says, I love that Chicago, Illinois has absolutely no real regulations for e-scooters other than treating them as bicycles. Yeah. California, the law is now January 1st of 2019 that it's the same exact rules as bicycles. Most states don't have any laws right now. The states that do are either treating them as bicycles or banning them entirely. You need to check with your state on those rules. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Marco, for helping out Patrick. That's great. Um, yeah, Jay says I've fallen about 4 times. Yeah, be careful, people. Yeah, Jay, if you also want to mention how you fell, any of those, if you look in the video description, you'll see the Reddit, 2 different Reddit posts, which was why did you fall, which is just about 80 something different accounts of why someone fell. And then I also have my own analysis on why they fell and encapsulating everything up. And if I can go, I'll probably go over that soon. But I'm going to keep running through questions here. Yeah, Sean asked about the Quawa Q Power. Yeah, we are really trying to get some Quawa scooters in here. We've been blowing them up on every platform. We get so many scooters from so many people that, we don't have tons of time. I mean, we're hiring and all this stuff, trying to get more, be able to review more scooters. There's certain places we want to get scooters. They're just reluctant to send us scooters. And I can only imagine why that is yet. Yeah, cool. Stay Blaze talks about a new beam turn signal tail light. Cool. Also has an audible signal. I have it mounted to the rear on the Turbo Wheel Lightning, which is the 10X. Awesome. Yeah, so check that out. If you want to post a link, go for it. SK Racing's asking how different would a zero scooter be compared to a Lime scooter. So really, really different. The biggest thing you'll notice is the size of the scooter, the weight of the scooter. So zero scooters do range in weight, right? From 0.8 being just over 40 pounds to 0.11X Rev Rides is not carrying that scooter because it actually is a little too fast. And that is, at some point, right, some retailer is going to stop carrying scooters because that speed becomes dangerous at a certain point. For me, 30, 35 is like the max I really want to go ever. Even when I'm testing top speed, I don't really enjoy going over 40. So 10X is capping out around 34, 35 miles an hour. Lime scooters cap out around 16 miles an hour. Also, your acceleration, right? A Lime scooter is going to be between 250 and 350 watts, depending on what scooter you're getting. If it's the old Segway ES2 or ES4, or the newer Lime scooters, which probably be the Okai model, the Bird Zero clone kind of thing, or the Ninebot Max, or kind of some of the common ones. Those are still limited in speed. They're still single motor. They're a little more robust and way heavier now. But when you're going up hills is where you're going to notice a difference. Just top speed is a big difference. Suspension, everything's a big difference, actually. Yeah, you got to ride a zero scooter and then know the difference. It's night and day. It's like a different product. Okay. Yeah, Trekkin FPV asks, he or she's saying, I use the GoTrax GXL V2. Cool. We have that scooter. Really like that scooter. Best that we think for under $300. Really like it, but want something with a bit more power. The Levy scooter. Yeah. So actually the Levy scooter is $499. It does have more power. It does have a higher top speed. It's like 18, almost 19 miles an hour top speed. The motor, someone can check this, but I believe it's 350 watts. I think it's 350 watts. So as opposed to 250. However, the range is about the same, but that's because the Levy has a swappable battery, and that swappable battery is is a pretty cool feature. It does cost a bit of money if you are, to get a second one, but then you've got, it's only 3.3 pounds, that extra battery. We do have a video review of the Levy if you want to check it out. I do recommend it, actually. You can also look at the Xiaomi M365 at $399, the Levy at $499. And then there's not much, that we really recommend until you get to about $700. Let's see here. Just trying to scroll through some questions. I'm way behind. Sorry, guys. I'm not keeping up. 57 pages of helmets. Holy moly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. It's actually longer, but I think we took some out if we didn't have links to them or something. Yeah, Stayblay says my city state does not require a helmet even for motorcyclists, which is fairly crazy. That's absolutely crazy. If you've ridden a scooter much at all, at some point you're gonna crash, right? I mean, I'm really safe. I've basically only been in like one car accident that I wasn't even driving for, but I've fallen on a scooter I think 3 or 4 times in the last couple years, and like that. I mean, like I'm super safe. I think I'm safe. So you're going to crash. When you do crash, you got to wear a helmet. If you're going to do one thing, we'll go through, if we can go through safety equipment and stuff like that. The number one thing is you got to wear a helmet. Like my fiance, she'll want to go down to like the market that's only 3 blocks away. I don't let her leave without a helmet on because it only takes a fall at 5. I mean, you could fall at 5 miles an hour the wrong way and clack your head against the pavement and you might be done. I mean, it's happened. The faster you go, yeah, the worse. But you don't always, a lot of the falls that are happening are due to terrain. And most of the falls that are due to terrain are due to people not seeing the obstacle that's coming up, right? It's kind of like a surprise. Either you're not recognizing it or you don't see it or whatever. And so when it's like getting hit with the punch you don't see. That's a knockout punch. And so when you fall, right? If you don't know it's coming, I don't know that people are getting their hands up against their face in time. And when that happens and you knock your head, that's where the bad stuff happens. Okay. Marco, yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I mean, that's actually Justin did all that work on the database. I will take all the credit though. Cool. What's the average cost of a good helmet? Yeah, so, I'm going to show you the helmets I have. This helmet is just a bike helmet. It's $20 or $30. Okay. And you can get $20 or $30 for bike helmets just fine. This is more of a kind of like a skater helmet. And then this is the new helmet that I just got. And this is before we did research. We basically just I was like, man, I need a helmet. And so we just found one that met some standards, motorcycle standards. This is a Bell helmet. And you can see right here, it's got, so I was actually thinking before I got this helmet that I wasn't going to like wearing something so big because I thought it was going to reduce my visibility and therefore my safety. And I've never hit my head yet during any of my crashes. That's a bad, but when I put it on, what's crazy is that actually the visibility is actually just fine, which I was quite pleasantly surprised on. And because my eyes inside of here are recessed, I don't need to wear a hat. With this helmet, I have to wear a hat with a brim and sunglasses because the sun shines, right? And I need to be able to like not have the sun into my face so I can like open my eyes wider, which allows me to see more. This actually does the visor thing on its own. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's got some space here in front of your eyes, right? And then also it, when I put this guy down, right now I've got eye protection and I haven't had a need for what do you call it? Shading, right? Like sunglass style shading. This is clear, but it's actually been good. I haven't felt like I needed to have something darker. I know they make them darker and lighter. So I really like it. This part here, undoing the clasp maybe isn't the easiest. Takes me about 10, 15 seconds to get that undone. But I actually like riding with it. And then, it's got some vents and whatnot. I think this one was like just over $100. We can post the link to that if, actually I probably bought it, so I have the link. But, if you all want to, if someone asks, I can post the link. I just need to go into my Amazon account to do that. So I would say 75 to like 100, 110. I think this helmet is fine. It meets all the standards. It's big. It's going to protect my whole head. It's full face. It's rated for the over 20 miles an hour. It's motorcycle not style. That's the whole thing. It's motorcycle rated and it's racer style. Okay. And actually it's the picture that we have on the thing. Yeah. And thank you for saying we do a lot of research. That's actually all Justin on that. At what age, Stephanie's asking, what age do you think is a good age to start riding? Well, they make scooters for kids. They're just not powered, right? And I think that once like a kid can be responsible, I think, some states may have rules about this and you should follow your state. I think that with electric scooters, you do need to be super responsible because of the fact that they're inherently more dangerous than bicycles. And I'm gonna, I love the electric scooter industry. I think it's good for the world. We all think it's good for the world, and it's good for like everybody. It's good for cities, it's good for the environment, it's good to get around. But we also think that they are inherently dangerous, and there's a few reasons why. One, the tires are small. So you have an 8-inch tire. In the video description link, I actually linked the 5 reasons why riding a scooter is inherently more dangerous, or you're going to crash more on a scooter than a bicycle. And you can go through those reasons, but I will kind of summarize here. Tire size is the biggest one, I think. You've got 8 to 10, maybe 11-inch tires with an electric scooter. Some are only 6 or 7 inches. When you're encountering an obstacle, so say you've got a tire that's this big, right? And you've got a curb that's 2 inches, right? And you're rolling along like this. You need a ton of force to overcome that obstacle. With a bicycle, you have a 26-inch tire, right? And you can just roll right over that. I mean, it's easier. It's called it's called the wheel over curb problem in physics. You can see a chart of the extra percentage needed to get over an object with a bike versus a scooter tire in that post that's linked in the video description. That is the biggest. That is actually. So if you want to see, I'll actually show you right here why people are. Let's see here. So if you look here, right, this one, cause of electric scooter crash. Terrain is the number one cause, and terrain is caused by a lot of things, but one of them is getting lips in the road, little inconsistencies in pavement and things like that. So if you're young and you can't learn about electric scooters, if you're not at the age where you can pay attention and do a little bit of like thought about safety first, then I probably wouldn't ride an electric scooter yet. If you've been riding the small tire non-electric scooters, then you're probably good on that. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Is he now? Wait, I get a. Okay. Yeah, 010X Quaywap Q Power. Yeah, 010X. I'm gonna say that if you're looking between two scooters, I would also look. If you're looking at only stats, you're only looking at half of it. The other big thing for electric scooters is where you're buying from, and the reason I say that is because the electric scooter industry is new, and as such, there is not a ton of quality control going on, which means that if you're buying from a company that doesn't have a phone number, doesn't have an email, you can't get a hold of for post-purchase support, I wouldn't buy from them. I'm not saying Quaywah has that. I'm just saying test them out before you purchase from Quaywah, any of the other ones. And actually this goes much, much more for anybody looking on AliExpress. It may be worth it to spend an extra 10% to buy from a reputable dealer that's going to handle quality control and potentially inspect the scooters, but surely help you out, because not all scooters, even the best ones, a lot of times there's issues that they have out of the box. You need help and you just spent $1,000+ on something. I would personally buy from a reputable seller. The only ones that we list in our review section, so if you go to comparisons, that database, that chart is going to list everybody. But if you go to the reviews, the only reviews we have are from places that we know have good post-purchase support. Aaron Doak asks, let's see. Is the analysis on that thread's user input for falling causes already online. The thread for user input. Yes. So Raphael Linux. So yeah, so let's show you that again. So this is the reason for falling. Okay. This is online. It's right now. I just posted this last night on the subreddit, which is where, so I started the subreddit and I mod the subreddit along with Fed Up with Tech. The link to this is in the video description, with a full analysis that's written, that's really, really long. It has even more charts than this. I'll show you another chart as well. But basically, right, we can go over this. I hope this is interesting. So I'll just go over the basics right now, okay? And this is not survey, right? So we are gonna do a survey. This is 80 something personal stories that I went through and tagged up and tried to find patterns in. And actually I have the spreadsheet, and that's actually publicly available if anybody wants to, like, heck, double check my work, which would be great, or do their own analysis on it. And the post is available too in the video description. So check both of those out. So, number one, can you easily avoid electric scooter crashes, right? I know it's small, but 58% of electric scooter crashes, based upon the reports, these are self-reports, okay? 58% were totally and easily avoidable, okay? And by easily, I mean like easily, right? So if you get hit by a car and you're just following too close, or you're not giving enough space, I'm saying that's not easily avoidable, and that would go in the no column, or no piece of this pie, okay? The severity of the crash, okay, however you want to think about it, glass is half full or empty. Of course, most are not severe, at least from these self-reports. The severity was 15%, but that does mean that like 1 out of every 7 times that you crash, and by severe, I mean more than like a deep cut, more than bruising, more than being sore, more than scrapes. I'm talking about going to the hospital, broken bones, concussions, skull fractures, teeth through the lip, all that stuff. That would be severe. Depending on how you look at it, these are the stats that have been self-reported. And then if you want to look at electric scooter crashes, okay, and the cause of them, those are the causes, okay? And so the number one cause is terrain. And so when I say terrain, okay, terrain is actually made up of 2 kinds of things, all right? Terrain crashes now they're caused by one of 4 things. Terrain crashes: hitting lips or raised portions of roads, going too fast and getting out of control, and then hitting the side of a curb, right, or a lip of grass, sliding in wet or damp conditions, and sliding over regular objects because you have solid tires. Those are primarily the reasons why people are crashing in terrain reasons. So I think that's really interesting. I also have here the percentage of accidents that could have been easily avoided by cause. And so if you look here, terrain and scooter issues, okay, are actually the 2 most like preventable types of crashes. Again, this is why we're doing a lot of work on safety, because actually what is really interesting that like I found when doing this analysis is that the 2 leading types, right? So now remember, scooter issues, right, and terrain, right, in total make up, I have this right here, make up 66% of all crashes. And if you were to combine those 2, 85% of all of those combined are easily avoided, right? Because you've got 88 and 78 here, right? So in total, 85% of these 2 most common types of crashes are totally avoidable. And that Reddit post will have details on, and some people actually wrote how they could avoid it, and I cataloged that stuff, and it's in that Reddit post. We're gonna do more work on this, and I can talk at length. I have like pages and pages of notes that I could talk about, but I just wanted to show that. The other thing that I wanted to show is the severity by cause, right? And so note that large vehicles, other scooters, bikes, and pedestrians don't have a ton of data points, right? So like I would, that the severity, may not be accurate over long term, but for terrain and scooter issues, those are probably accurate. And so, luckily the crashes with large vehicles, those ones are self-reported as unavoidable, 100% unavoidable, but luckily they don't have a high percentage of severe injuries, which is really kind of nice to know. Yeah, I don't know which screen we should just kind of leave this on. I'll leave it on this screen for a bit. So let's see here. I'm going through comments. Wow. So yeah, JSYT crashed on the M365, completely wrecked, fractured the femur. So I'm sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, that really sucks. If you want to post why that happened, I will. I'll read that out loud. Yeah, Google I love helmets. Yeah, and watch the first video. I know what video. I think I know what video you're talking about. It's the one with the skateboarder that's going downhill and he just like loses it and just smashes the back of his head into the ground, and he pops right back up and goes, "I love helmets." If you ever want to know if you should wear a helmet, just watch that video. We should post that video. Someone fell at 0 kilometers per hour and broke the elbow. Yeah. Let's see. Are the chart watts constantly continuous ratings? Some of them peak. Yeah. Fred Neal, good question. So Fred Neal's referring to the comparison chart, which if you go onto the main page of the website, you just click on comparisons, and then go to the chart. I think it may also be linked from the homepage. It's the big chart where you can figure out all electric scooters. I believe for the most part, I'm going to double check right now, but it should all be the nominal or otherwise known as continuous rating, not peak. Okay. The difference being, actually it's linked on our homepage as well. I'm just going to go and look at the max. So you got to go to show all data. You got to turn that switch on and then just sort by motor rating. And so let's see here. Yeah. So there's a few we don't know. The Dualtron X, I'll double check that. But yeah, the rest should all be continuous, because if you look at a lot of these, they're maxing out actually a lot more than 3,000 watts, believe it or not. They're like 5,200, 5,400 watts. Also, if you find an issue with the database, there's like a little link to just let us know. Just send us a quick message, because there's like 120 something scooters in there and things change and whatnot. So, but yeah, for the most part, in almost every case, it's always going to be continuous. All right. Yeah, a lot of love for the TSG scooters, it looks like. I see a lot of comments on that. Rex is talking about the 09 and 8X. Loving the suspension and height on the 8X, but I feel everything on the solid tires, wiped out in the ditch. Yeah, so the 8X is a good scooter. And if you look at our reviews for that, we pointed out that it's dual solid tire. And what's interesting is that a lot of people want solid tire scooters. They're even replacing their scooters on the Xiaomi, which is dual pneumatic, with solid tire scooters. And that is really interesting to me. And I know why. It's because getting flats is a big problem, and it's a lot of maintenance issue, and it's a bit of a headache, and I get it. But there is one thing you can do for anybody that's thinking about getting, a pneumatic and switching to solid because you don't want to have to replace tires or whatever, is use slime, right? On our website, there's a slime page, or you can just type in slime. It shows you the slime we recommend. I've had 4 scooter tire problems at this point, 3 out of the 4, so I'm batting 750. Slime, I slime it up and I'm gone in 5 minutes and I'm good to go, and I don't have the problem again. So more times than not, I would assume slime will fix your puncture, and pneumatic tires are better in every case than solid tires except for maintenance. Pneumatic tires are better for performance, for safety, and for comfort. They're better in every single way. There's a reason why bicycles only have pneumatic tires. I was in where was I? I was in Scotland, in Edinburgh or whatever, at Edinburgh, at the Transportation Museum, and the early bikes had like these solid tires, but they don't have them anymore. They're all pneumatic tires, and there's reasons for it, right? Nobody sells a bike with solid tires. They just don't perform. Scooters, we have solid tire scooters, and if you know what you're doing, and you're in good conditions, not wet conditions, and you know your route, you can be okay. I rode a solid tire scooter. I rode the U-Scooter Booster for almost 3 years straight, and I did slide a little bit, and and it's that is not a safe scooter. But you can make it work if you're very careful and you leave lots of room and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Practice bunny hopping over curbs. Yeah, I crashed one time because there was a lip in the driveway, and I was signaling because there's a cop behind me, and then I just missed my hop over the curb, and I just fell forward. Luckily, I caught myself. Wheel over curb is exactly how I flew over the horizon. This is Dave. I was on the brakes, but came up a bit short. Yep, same here. And I was actually on the horizon too. That's funny. I was testing the horizon, which is a good scooter. Nobody's gonna say that's not a good scooter. It does have a solid rear tire, but it's a good scooter. And I would assume, I think the verdict is it's a pretty darn good scooter. It's not about the scooter. Certain scooters are gonna be better for safety, but you can crash for sure on any scooter. Okay. Raphael Linux says, I belong to the terrain severe category. Yeah. Damn. If you're a taller person, injuries will probably be worse. I'm assuming that's because your head is further from the ground, so when you smack it, you've got more momentum, I'm guessing. I don't know. Yeah. So I would be interested to know what body part. Yeah. So General Ivan is asking about the Mantis being cheaper on the Mantis scooter website compared to Fluid Freeride. So actually on our website, on the Facebook group, I have a post about some people were asking about the same thing. So we're talking about the Mantis being like the new scooter that's kind of taken this, everybody's asking about it. It's like starting at $1,500. I think today is the last day. If you put in our coupon code, electric-scooter.guide for Mantis, when you check out and put in the fast charger, $129 fast charger, you get the fast charger for free. Fluid Freeride gave us that because we did the Mantis last week on our live show. That is available, but only, he said, through 10/8. You got to put both in your cart and then put in the coupon code, okay? But MantisScooter.com is selling it for a couple $100 less. Here's the deal with MantisScooter.com. As I look them up, their website was made, so when I wrote the post, it was made 8 days prior, and that was like less than a week ago. So I would say that website literally is about a little over 2 weeks old. There is no phone number. There's no email. Their Whois domain information has no information to contact them. Will you maybe save a couple $100? Maybe. Do we know anything about the post-purchase support? Who's running it? A way to contact them? Definitely not. You could try it and you might be out $1,300. You might get a scooter where you get no support when something happens to it. I would personally think that, I know Fluid Freeride, right? We have a great relationship with them. If they're not doing good support for somebody, like we know it and like we can talk to them and we know what happened when there was the wide wheel recall. They like spearheaded the whole thing. Actually, they were the most upfront about that. Scooters are too new to like mess with new companies, I think. So that's my take. Would I buy from them? No, I would spend the extra $200 and buy from somebody that's reputable. That's just what I think. Okay. I'd love to know that. Okay, Raphael, I'd love to have the data to know how much worse injuries are received depending on deck height. Oh, that's a good one. So our future survey is going to go over all the things, including what scooter you're on, and we will make like a legit survey, and I think that will be the biggest survey, that's ever been done for electric scooters, at least in the personal market and maybe overall. So now that we have all this personal, self-reported information, we know how to develop a really good survey. If anybody's interested and that is like really pro at surveying, then definitely reach out if you want to help out, because we could use it. Super Racer says, honestly, just wear a helmet. I learned that the hard way with 14 staples to close the gash in my head. Mine was from a car doing illegal U-turn, and I was going about 50. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So every single report of an injury with a car, they said was actually unavoidable. In other words, well, they didn't say unavoidable, but I interpret it as unavoidable in that so car injuries, let me just talk about that for just a second. Car injuries, and I have my notes here real quick. Car injuries are resulting from two causes, okay? One, the vehicle driver did not see the scooter. That's 81% of the vehicle collisions that are reported. Number two, vehicle passenger not seeing the scooter. So what that means is the door opened, right? The vehicle passenger doesn't see the scooter, which means they opened the door and the scooter came by, either hit the door or had to bail. So I'm one of those, right? That happened to me. That's 19% of reported cases. So in order to avoid those types of things, right, you have to assume that no car is going to see you, okay? Like the first time I actually ever rode a fast scooter, I was on a Spider. I had met Alien Rides, Kevin in San Francisco. We met up and he was testing out the Spider, Dualtron Spider. And I was like, shoot, I'll ride it. And I had been on only a used scooter, booster is 500 watts. I rode the Spider, right? Dual, it's like 1,300 nominal, like 3,000 max, something like that. I was like, I had a perma smile. It was an amazing experience. However, I rode up to an intersection where I had the right of way and there was a car stopped. This is the very first time I rode it. I was riding, 20, 25 miles an hour in downtown San Francisco during rush hour. That car did not see me. It was almost like scooters were so new at the time that there was no schema in the mind of drivers for a scooter. They don't expect anybody on a scooter or a bike to be coming up that fast, so they are not prepared for it, or they just don't see it. It's almost like they don't see you. Also, drivers are distracted, okay? They're on their phones. We know what happens, okay? And if you're so you have to pretend that they never see you. So keeping enough distance from the rear and the side of the vehicles on the road, right? If you're going to an intersection, assume that every car is going to turn at the intersection. I do my range tests, right, on every one of these scooters. And there's a portion where I'm by just 20, 30 cars lined up and there's a right turn. And a lot of cars turn right. And I just basically assume every car is going to turn right. So I keep space behind them. And I look at the car to my left and make sure they know I'm there. And if I see a car starting to turn left, I've got my hands right on my brakes. And actually, I reached out to the different manufacturers, the different sellers in the U.S. to get their top tips for electric scooters for safety ridings. And 3 of them responded to me. The Swagatron responded, RevRides responded, and Fluid Free Rides responded. RevRide's number one and actually only tip that they responded with was, my safety tip is to all, and this is from Nathan, the owner. He says, my safety tip is to always cover your brake. This means keeping a finger or two on the brake lever at all times. This can save valuable time when someone or something suddenly pops out in front of you or something malfunctions on the scooter. The brakes typically have a motor cutoff switch, so this is all the more reason to cover your brakes, right? So when I'm riding in traffic, this is absolutely what I do in traffic is, excuse me, got the burps, is to cover my brakes for sure. Okay. Okay. Back to, let me, since everybody else responded, I'm going to go quickly and I'm just going to say what the top safety tips were. Swagatron says, number one, always wear a helmet. Always is in caps, as it should be. No exceptions. I agree. Don't do it without a helmet. Number 2, know the rules in your city and where you can ride. If you're not sure, treat your scooter as a bicycle, right? Try to stay to bike lanes. Don't go on the sidewalk, right? Don't go around pedestrians just don't. Okay. Number 3, make sure that your scooter is safe and mechanically sound. Inspect it. Make sure nuts and bolts are tight. Make sure brakes are properly adjusted. All that kind of stuff. Fluid free ride. Okay. Their top 3 tips are: wear protective gear. Even if you're a pro, other traffic participants may be idiots. That means wear protective gear means helmet. I've got safety vest here for riding at night. This is what I wear at night. You can get these so cheap. You can get these for probably under $10 on Amazon. If you're riding at night, don't ride without this thing. We've got rear light. Okay, you're gonna hate me for this, but rear light. That is what is the most important thing for riding at night, is to raise up your lights. Okay, electric scooters typically have low mounted lights. The rear light is always mounted low because there's no way to mount it high. So what you do is you just stick this thing on the back of your helmet, right? You do a little reverse Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on there. You put it on the back of your helmet, you put it on the back of your backpack or your shirt, you put it up high so cars can see you from the back. For the front light, I don't have that right here right now. Some scooters don't have high mounted front lights. If they do, most of the time they're not that bright. Get a front mounted headlight so that you can have good visibility and it's mounted high so you can see the road better and so cars can see you better, right? This is a horn, right? Some scooters don't come with an audible device. And in traffic, only this one they may hear, or like the Wolf Warrior has a damn car horn or motorcycle horn. eMove Cruiser is also really loud. Those are the loudest that I know of. You can get for $15 or so, you can get these like little horns that you can stick on your scooter. Cell phone mount, okay? So one of the top reasons why people fall is due to scooter issues, okay? And scooter issues, remember, are 78% avoidable. And now I'm going to go over why they're falling for scooter issues, okay? Scooter malfunctions is 22% of the category, not easily avoidable because those are like brakes that are going out on you, stems that break, things like that. That does happen. The vast majority is user error. That's 70% of all scooter issues, right, are due to user error. This is 100% avoidable, okay? And 29% of all scooter error is people that have taken one hand off the handlebars. Scooters are not like bikes. You get the wobbles on scooters really easily, okay? So the number one reason people are taking their hands off the handlebars is to use their phone. So congratulations, you're now the same as those damn car drivers that are using their phones, okay? This is what you do. We have this link. I'll put it in the video description. This is the one we recommend. It's like metal. You can kind of hear it. It's very well designed. You put your phone in here and you screw it tight, okay? And then you mount it. It mounts on almost every scooter. I just had it on the eMove Touring. I've had it on other scooters. And then when you're riding, if you need directions, boom, you've got your directions right there. Also, little known pro tip here, but a lot of scooters in the display have a USB port. So the eMove Touring, the Horizon, like any scooter, like over $600-700, I would say the vast majority are gonna have USB ports. Not any of them with the Mini Motors iDisplay, but most of the other ones are gonna have USB ports. I'll just quit since I'm on the topic, right? Besides keeping your hands on the handlebars, check to see that the stem is locked properly. That's the other biggest cause. People are forgetting to lock the stem. And you know what? I had the U-Scooter Booster. I honestly probably didn't lock in my stem, I would say 15 times over the 2.5 years I had that scooter. That is the thing to remember about it. So those are the top reasons. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to comments. Wow, we are kind of over time here. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just quickly go through, see if there's any other big questions. Um, yeah, flashing rear light, awesome. Yeah, wrist guards. Yeah, wrist guards, jackets. Eye protection was the last thing I forgot to mention. If you don't have the visor, wear some sunglasses. You look cooler. And man, I can't tell you how many times bugs just like, I feel like they just love my eyes. And when I'm riding, the damn bugs, they just bam, they just do a beeline for my eyeballs. And so that's a good one. We don't have a list of state laws for each state. I started looking at that. That is a hard thing to find right now. Okay. Yeah. Some of the USB ports are for debugging. Just check yours. See if it charges, Cool. All right. So I'm gonna sign off. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope this video was helpful for you. Hit the subscribe button. Find us on Facebook. I'll keep chatting in here for the next couple minutes, but yeah, make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you always know that we're doing our live show every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you notice, every time I'm gonna say, and for this show and every other show, is ride safe and don't forget to wear your helmet. Bye bye, everybody.